YouTube, it's Mitchell Z. I'm back again. What I wanted to do is get on here and just answer a couple of questions that I got already. But first, before I do that, I just wanted to say thank you because I have been gone for a long time and I kind of forgot about the fact that there are so many really positive people in the natural hair community here on YouTube. I've gotten really positive feedback and really good comments, and I just wanted to let you guys know how much that meant to me this past week. You know, I was kind of in a place where I wasn't feeling very motivated and kind of down, and that really lifted my spirits to kind of hear from you guys, and it really just made me feel like positive and, you know, really motivated again. And I just wanted to say thank you. The questions that I've been getting, I've only gotten like 2 questions about it, but it was about heat damage. And yes, if you've followed the blog, if you followed any of my other videos, you'll know that I have heat damage. I've addressed that before. People will come on and ask me, which flat iron do you use and which temperature is it? And it's a set temperature. Okay, it's the FHI Technique G2. The thing about that flat iron is the fact that it is a set temperature. It only has an on and off. I can't control the heat on it. That is the only thing that I don't like about the flat iron. Otherwise, it gives really great results, but it does go all the way up to 400 degrees. That does get natural hair straight, afro textured hair. It will get your hair straight, but it can incur heat damage. I am considering looking into maybe a Sally's brand, like GVP type flat iron, something that has a heat dial. That is important because I could probably, with my technique of the comb chase method and using the silicones to help smooth my hair, I could probably get away with something like 375, 325. It doesn't take that much heat when you have your technique down. Heat damaged hair that has been straightened from using too much heat, that's not going to get any curl back. That's part of the reason why I cut those bangs up to here, because what I was doing is I was cutting off like a ½ inch at a time, and then I finally went ahead and chopped the last little bit of the heat damage off, and it left me with some curls. But then when they shrank up, they were like this little puff right around, you know, this area. So I ended up having to pin that area and slick it. And then what ended up happening was I ended up with heat damage again in my bangs. So the bangs have grown out, but what I've got is like from like here down, it's pretty much like straight. It almost looks like it's a relaxer. And then from here up, it's thicker. And the reason why I'm hanging on to it is because of the length. The length for me allows me to do something like this. If you can see, I have a barrette here. It's the Easy Comb. So there's a comb on this side and a comb here pressing in to hold my hair back. And I can actually pull all of this hair, goes into it and comes out the back here. And, you know, if I were to go ahead and cut off the heat damage here, it would just barely be able to make it in there. Like I would have to do all this pinning and slicking and all of that. And then too, whenever I do a puff and I pull my hair all the way back, like to here, my hair will actually fit. You know, it'll come all the way back to the back here somewhere. And so that very first part, you kind of see a few little straight pieces and then the rest is curly. So you can kind of see, like right here, I've got like a big C-shape curl right there and right here. These curls have sort of been, the curl has been like loosened quite a bit there. And that's kind of what's happening over here too. Because, let me find one that's a little bit. The ones that seem to stay tighter are the ones in the back. See, can you see that? I've got a little coil back there. So the hair in the back is like a completely different texture and it stays a lot thicker. So every single time that I use heat, I don't really seem to have, these don't really receive as much stretch or change after using heat. But it's this area right around here and then this front area that always seems to loosen when I see that something has happened with heat. So I've actually been straightening my hair once a month. I was, the very first year I was natural, I was flat ironing it about once a month. And then the second year, I kind of decided to stop doing that as much, and I was doing once every other month. So I started to stretch it out. Last year, I did that chop in January. So a lot of my curls shrunk up and they were a lot tighter. And what I noticed was it only took about a half an inch in order for me to get back to that original curl pattern, and all my shrinkage and everything came back. And so that's when I realized how much my hair curl pattern had changed because of using heat. Because after that haircut, I started to notice it was a lot different dealing with my hair as far as styling it and trying to detangle it. It was difficult, actually, because I wasn't used to my hair being so tightly coiled. And in February and March of last year, I started using heat again. I actually did it with the intention to stretch my hair out a little bit. Yes, I was starting to think of myself as heat training my hair. And we all know that you're still getting the same type of result as you are getting if your hair is heat damaged. In my mind, heat training is when you're doing it intentionally, when you're doing it over a period of time and expecting to loosen your curl on purpose. But with heat damage, it could be the one session you thought you went and you got your hair done and you came back and a week later your hair's straight in pieces where that was not what you intended whatsoever. The straight pieces I'm not okay with because of a style like this. It's something where I have to blend them in. Now what I know from using heat this whole time being natural is the fact that I have areas in my hair that are fragile and are prone to heat damage. Like I said, the front and these side areas. Some of the things that I have incorporated into my regimen because I use heat, I now do the ApHogee 2-step protein treatment. I did do that periodically whenever I noticed I was having extreme shedding, or if I noticed the first time I used it, I had a lot of split ends, and that probably was because of the heat. Now, ever since I've brought that into my regimen, I actually have very few split ends. I also have started doing that on a more routine basis instead of me just doing it like once every 3 months or something like that. It's more like 6 to 8 weeks I'll go ahead and do the ApHogee. I know a lot of times you'll hear people say that natural hair doesn't need protein treatments, but in my case, with me using heat, that outer cuticle layer, those little shingles, there's probably little pieces that, once heat damage has happened, now that keratin core has been exposed, and that heat, I don't want that heat to be able to penetrate into there, because that's the area that kind of decides what your curl pattern is going to be. I do feel like, for the most part, my curls, I'm pretty happy with them. And I don't feel like, oh my God, my hair is ruined. I'm kind of done being tiptoeing around my hair and really scared to use heat, really scared to style my hair. I'm starting to style my hair in a little bit smarter way. What I'll do is I make sure I do a deep moisture treatment immediately before. The week before, I'll do a protein treatment. And then after rinsing out the moisture DC the night of or the night before, I'll rinse it completely, make sure my hair is clear of any oils or anything like that. And then I'll go ahead and air dry it. I'll put in leave-in conditioner. I'll put in something that's silicone based to help protect. And then I'll just pull it back or pull it into ponytails or whatever, or a braid or something like that. And I'll completely air dry my hair. And then it's pretty much like a cold blowout. If you look up cold blowout, you'll see some ladies how they just braid their hair in sections, let it air dry, and then when you brush out the dry sections, it looks just like a blowout. So it doesn't even make sense for me to use the blow dryer anymore. So I have been taking that out of the regimen. I can tell the last 4 or 5 months that I've been doing that, my results are better. My hair is easier to deal with. And I can tell that my hair is reverting back a lot better than it was before. I've also been roller setting. What I'll do is I'll take the flat iron and just flat iron at the roots, and then it gives me a straighter look from the root down because the rollers pretty much took care of the length of my hair, because I know a lot of the heat damage that I have is all the way down here at the ends. So I'm just taking care of my hair as far as trying to really up my co-washes, sticking with the protein treatments. If I feel like my hair needs moisture, I just jump in the shower and I just wet my whole head. I don't, I can spritz it and things like that, but I don't even, when my hair needs moisture, I feel like I just wet it. I just wet my hair. I'm not afraid to use silicones because, again, that cuticle layer has little gaps in it, and that's what silicones do, is they kind of help fill in the gaps. Also, I use grapeseed oil. The grapeseed oil it has ceramides in it, so in a natural sense, it's almost doing the same type of thing that silicones do as far as helping to fill in those gaps. I just wanted to address heat damage, and I hope this didn't go too long for you guys, but it's really important to me to share what's happened to my hair so that anybody who's thinking about using heat, anybody who's had questions in the past about what to do for their heat damaged hair, I just wanted to let you know some of what I've been doing, because this is just all about learning. Part of what's key about natural hair is the fact that it is curly. When something's not right, when your curls don't look right, that's how you know. That's your indicator telling you to make an adjustment. If you have any questions on heat, how to use heat, anything about heat type questions, go ahead and leave those questions below this particular video, and I'm more than happy to go ahead and answer questions for you. Until next time, talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Bye.